Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, February. God, I can't stop saying January. February 9th, 2018. Last day of the trading week. Um, we are going to have a kind of a quicker session this morning. I've got a bunch of non-market related things I got to get done today. And it snowed a lot, and it's still snowing, and so I got to take care of that. The Olympics are going on. Yeah. What else? Okay, what do we got going on here? We're gonna have um, Canada. We're gonna have Canada's unemployment rates coming out in about 3 minutes. Unemployment changes, all that jazz. That's coming up here shortly. One look at that chart real quick and actually look at it from this way. We're up above this angle here, so this could be looked at and viewed as bullish because we're above it. Excuse me, but we'll want to see what price does in about 3 minutes. Anyways, let's look at our trades from overnight. And another reason why we're going to have a kind of a short day is that we've got a lot of indecision going on. And like I was saying yesterday, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and take some profit and end the week early. Again, as it with every Friday, every hour we get closer to the lunch hour in Eastern and Central Time, the less and less participation we will have in the market. Look, if we take a real quick peek at the futures here, we have a continued sell-off in the general equities market. We are in a legitimate correction territory where we're around little under 10% down from our highs, and so that's going to be focusing on the market here a little bit. Currencies are being affected by this a little bit. So is gold. Let's look at our gold trade. So we wanted to go short yesterday. There we go. Notice if we continue to look at this, the power of the Gann square of 144. If we've been trading this, look how price likes to respond to these angles naturally as we go further in time. It's pretty neat. We wanted to short at a pullback to 1321, which we did get, like spot on. We got a fantastic entry over here, and that played out very nicely. Or break and hold of 1306, which we have not had, but this short is worked out very nicely, and that should end our gold trade very nicely. Kind of holding off there. Our euro trade. And the radio thing did not happen yesterday. Just had a little bit of a scheduling conflict, so that's no big deal. We'll do it next week though. Okay. The euro, we wanted a short on a pullback to the 23.23 area. We did not get that. What we ended up getting, okay, we've got Canadian unemployment released, and that is shooting up. Good Lord. Look at that. How is everything else responding to this? Muted. Okay. We did not get a pullback there. We've kind of just been trading in range now since the 7th. We've been kind of bouncing around between 22.27 and 22.86. Actually, we wanted to pull back to 23.23. Yeah, we did get that. I'm sorry, but we've kind of stuck in a little bit of a range here. We're looking at consolidative move farther towards this angle, or we're looking at a further breakdown, which is more or less in the cards because of the long-term trend we've been in. We should expect to see a further pullback down. the other short we're looking at is a break of 2208, which is down here. Okay. The New Zealand dollar short we have right here, and we wanted to go short on a pullback to 72.58. You know, we're looking at a pullback up to here. It doesn't look like we've got that. We do kind of have a little inside double top here on our hourly. I mean, this is supportive selling structure right here, but you know, we'll have to again, the rule of angles is that once it breaks an angle, it's going to move to test the next one, which is down here. So that's a ways down yet. And you know, if we look at the pairs that usually move in tandem together, the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar has been lagging compared to the Aussie dollar. Now, there are other fundamental reasons for that move, but usually they do kind of move in tandem. Aussie dollar, we wanted to go short, we wanted to go long. Actually went long yesterday. I took a few pips off on it. Didn't like that it wasn't really doing much, but in hindsight, you know, we could be looking at going long at 78.16. That was up here. Yeah. I had actually gone long earlier than that. I'd gone long here, but then just I didn't like where it was going and what it was doing. So, and then we wanted to go short at a return to 77.73, which we did get. We're still floating around here. I mean, if we can't break this back to the top side, then we are going to go down. But we should expect it to test the angle here. Maybe break above a little bit. We'll have to see what happens. The pound dollar. Talk about a zip up and down here. We wanted to go short between 140.66 and 140.30. That turned out very nicely because we are down quite a bit here. We did break down earlier this morning. That's a great trade that worked out. I really enjoyed this one a lot. And then the UCAD we actually had on here, we wanted to go long. Where are we at? We wanted to go long at 125.88, and that trade has worked out very nicely. You know, if you were holding on to this, if you were able to put up with this consolidation zone, my profit target was hit. And then if and then we had long at a pullback to 124.23. So we were looking at down here as a pullback area if price wanted to trade down here. So those are kind of our options. And then let's look at what has happened with our cryptocurrencies. And I want to take a look specifically at Bitcoin. Well, we'll look at others here too. Bitcoin Cash has had some significant movement. Yesterday it had a greater than 40% move, and it has not really retraced any of that. So this is pretty bullish move. I'm surprised that it has retraced so much of its move from our original kind of down period, but that's pretty bullish. It's a good indication of strength, and it hasn't sold off. We had a lot of volume participation in the move, continued participation. And it looks like it's wanting to get into the same price structure as the other majors. So, I'm sorry, there's Bitcoin Cash. That was the Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin pair. Same issue though. Nice participation. It certainly looks like the structure that we're seeing here seems to be mirrored, and it wanted to do that. If I'm just going through the charts here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. We see similar structure in all these charts. So they're really essentially all doing the same thing. What's really telling on this chart here is that this is a breakout zone. This is a buy area at 8,300. Because we have been riding this, and we're more than likely going to bust above this and see some nice movement in Bitcoin to the top here. little consolidative move, and then we should move to the top. And that's pretty much our trade for the day. I mean, in cryptocurrencies, I mean, if we look at all the others like Ethereum, it's the same thing. You know, Ethereum's a buy at 856. Litecoin, really, it's easy to say. We'll say like 151. All right, easy kind of setups on those cryptos for the day. Now, looking at let's go back to our trades here. Let's look at gold. So looking at gold, again, that square always gets messed up there. We have a couple opportunities we can short areas. We have two areas we can short. We can short at 1313. Well, you know what? Never mind. No, I'm really not going to put in a trade for this because we're kind of neutral on our. Well, I take that back. That's fine. No, we have good entries. I'm sorry. We're neutral. Take back. I'm babbling here. 1320s short at 1313. Long at we're looking at 1319. And so we're looking at an area. If we break above this guy here, if we break above this angle, then we are going to test higher up, very long ways. But also, because we're still inside this structure here, our bias is still to the downside, so we have a short opportunity below that low. We're still low risk trades either way there. The euro dollar. Now, when we were looking at the euro dollar, we were looking at how we wanted it to. We're expecting it to like trade up against here maybe a little bit, but continued pressure down. If we look at our square and our angles, you know, we do have a lot of openness to the downside here. On here as well. Just you know, testing this 5-6 is normal. We kind of tested 3/4 of the way, or you know, 2/3 halfway between these areas. That got rejected, so we should expect some continued sell-off here. Heavily expect more sell-off. Now we're taking a look at, you know, I'm really not kind of mixed on a trade here right now, so I don't see any great long or short opportunities. So no euro trade for right now. Let's look at UJ. UJ's looking pretty bullish still. I mean, this pair, look at all these trend lines, it's a mess. But UJ is respecting this longer trending trend line, and you know, we are continuing to move. Yeah, we're crawling back into that. I thought I had a square of 144 on here. Guess not. All right, well, we're definitely going to break. We want to break into back to 109s, and we should have some nice bullish momentum when that happens. So keep your eye on this. We had good buying opportunities down here. We did not actually have a UJ trade yesterday because that was kind of an uncertain zone. Also, we were holding on to longs that we got into from the previous time. Let's look at the euro pound. Euro pound, man, talk about swings. Good lord. So the euro pound, we had a short on a pullback to the 87.86 area, which was up here. and we did get that, but then we kind of had a really kind of dull, slow, move down, just kind of ponderous and really not that exciting. We found some support at the 6-8 retracement zone, which is also this inner 4/8. That's a natural area for price to get resisted at, and we've traded back up. So, I mean, this is looking like a short area, but with limited risk. But the risk is all the way up here, and our reward is back all the way down here. So, I'm a little iffy on this trade here. If we get a double top, then yeah, I'll jump on the bear, because we're back above this angle. I tell you one thing: there's a lot of people propping up the euro trade for whatever reason. There's a lot of but it's struggling to stay that way. So we've got some kind of identifiable weakness in that trade. So we'll just keep our eyes on that. Let's see, what else? What am I looking at? UNCUT, big dive there. Oof, ouch. Yep, the one day's when it doesn't look or feel right to trade, don't do it. Yep. So those are, I mean, we might only have those two trades really if I'm looking at everything here. Let's double check this. Let's look at the Swiss, nothing. New Zealand dollar. Nothing going on here. We want to test down here more. Aussie dollar, there we go. Now it's breaking above a little bit, catching a bid. Still don't want to participate. Don't want to participate. Well, maybe. I mean, if we get some nice support off this angle, buying up here at this a break of the high wouldn't be too bad. No, I don't see it. Euro pound. I mean, we're at extended levels on the hourly. I'm still, this kind of movement. It's good. Let's let things cool off over today and the weekend. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the market. We've taken a lot of money out this week. We've had really great, fantastic trades. A lot of profitable trades. I'm trying not to let my own trade bias and how I would trade affect how I'm doing my job for you guys of finding good setups, but I'm struggling with the part of me, if going back to if I don't find a setup, then I mean, if I'm not willing to trade that kind of a area, why would I recommend it? I know that's frustrating for folks who want to trade all the time and they just want to sit down and always be trading, but that is dangerous. I've been saying this a lot lately, especially this week, because this is a dangerous week because we've had so many wins. We are at our most vulnerable as traders when we have a series of consecutive wins, either days of winning or consecutive trades of wins. So we have to be very careful about thinking that we're going to have this continued run of wins, and that can hurt us. So looking at our trades right now, I'm not seeing a lot of opportunities. But I mean, what I will be doing is I'll check. I know I've said this before and I've done it a few times, but if I see something forming up during the day here, closer to near the afternoon, that might be a good hold for over the weekend. Because I usually advocate never holding over the weekend. But if there is actually a good setup, I don't mind it. Take a smaller position, and I'm comfortable with that. Very rarely are we going to have weekend trades where the gap is going to be, 300-400 pips against you? That does not happen that often. All right. So again, look at UJ really crawled up there fast. Wow. What happened there? I'm trying to figure out what caused that move. Let me bring this down to the 5-minute. Yeah, geez, wow, that was a big move that went all the way up to 109.24. Let's see if I can find anything on that. Hello. I mean, we've known that UJ is consolidating. Excuse me. We've known that UJ is consolidating and it's been trading on these angles. We know that it is holding, from breaking down lower here. If we look at this on a longer time frame, let's look at this on the weekly. We've got these lows that we're still staying above just ever so slightly. Let's see, the low is 108.458 to 108.41. So we're still technically above last week's low, but we are really right now forming an inside bar. So while on the weekly this does not look very good, it is still a bullish indication of increased prices, because we have falling prices, but as the prices are going lower, we're getting increased participation, which means that the prices may not go lower any longer. We have a high chance of prices reversing, so we should look at that kind of activity. If we look at the daily, and out of the major pairs we watch, the pair that is showing the least amount of movement, that has the most potential for a breakout, really in any direction, but I'm really biased for it to go to the top side, is the UJ pair. That the dollar index is catching a bid down here. This could just sell off more. I mean, we're not in a very great area. In fact, if I'm looking at the daily, we are a little divergent here. So we could catch some weakness in the dollar, but again, this kind of structure sometimes does things where it may just want to shoot up pretty rapidly. So we'll have to watch and see what happens here. Yeah. We have had since the 5th, we've had 4 days of being down and 6 days of being down, but we're still above that low, that swing low here. In fact, if we were to draw, yeah, we still got good pressure for moving up. Cool. Euro dollar it's finding some support on this 122.44 line. Definitely finding support on it. On the daily, we should see it want to catch a little bit of a ride up here, but probably find rejection once we turn up more. As we get closer to there. And the euro pound still doing its thing. And yeah, so I mean, really not a whole lot of trades today. This is a Friday though. We've had a Friday after a crazy week that we've had. I'm totally cool watching it do nothing. It's gonna be an interesting week next week. It's going to be an interesting day in our regular equities. So, yeah, this was a really short Friday, but sometimes that's good. Again, our trades we've got 3 long trades forming up in our cryptocurrency markets, and then really just have the gold trade set up there. That's kind of the best one that we've got set up. There are some other setups, but I mean, I'm not really comfortable with where they are at right now and with those setups. So I'm not wanting to participate myself, and I'm not going to suggest anybody else do that either. There's a lot of struggle over these current value areas. We can see a lot of activity coming in here on this hourly bar on all of these areas. We have a lot of movement, a lot of volume participation, and wow, that's looking interesting. So we shall have to see how things are going. This could just be a big old rug pull soon, and things could fall back down to where they were. But yeah, keep your eyes on things. And again, if you've had a great week, gosh, give yourself a break, reward yourself, and take an early weekend. All right. Anyways, you guys have a great trading week. Have a great weekend. Take your wins this week and feel good about it. Learn from it, and then forget about it. Starting next week, it's a brand new trading week. Don't drag any negative or positive baggage in with you on the next trading week. Okay. If you can't stand to be away from the market, spend some time doing some analysis. Find a pair that you enjoy trading, and then convince yourself of a bias. Convince yourself that something is going to go long, and then refute your own analysis. Find every single this trading is a lot like playing chess against yourself when it comes to forecasting and finding a bias in a market. So you really want to it's a solo game, and you really want to challenge yourself, and that's the best way that you're going to be able to make the correct trade. Anyways, time for me to bounce. Have a great weekend, and we will see you all on Monday. Bye-bye.